y'all. How y'all doing out there? All right, so let's get to it. I'm gonna get the clock on. I want to make sure I'm giving you 15 minutes, y'all. Excuse Amazing, she in the background building something crazy. So if you hear a bunch of noise, it's her. All right, so let's get to it, y'all. This is 15-minute live Q&A with CEO three times. I am your CEO three times, the real Alisa Applewhite, and I want to get to the question. All right, so why do I go live Monday through Friday, y'all? Because y'all keep asking me questions, right? So people has asked me questions. I literally got them all compiled on a list, and I'm answering your question one step at a time. Okay, so keep DMing me, keep calling me, keep texting me, right? Keep asking me these questions, because when you ask me these questions and I answer them, you're helping me as well. Okay, we are here live Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. on all social media platforms. At the real Alisa Applewhite. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, you get a recording. Okay, you get a recording at 12 o'clock. The real Alisa Applewhite. All right, so let's go with the first question, y'all. We're doing this different. How to start a healthcare staffing agency. Somebody asked me this question, but guess what? It made it on the list again. So with that being said, I'm gonna give you 3 more things that you can do to start a healthcare staffing agency. First one is commitment, right? The first thing in any business, when you are starting a business, you got to be committed to it, right? As I was telling my group, in a mentorship group, and as I was telling my group, a lot of people want success, right? But they don't want to put in the work. A lot of people want to see it right away, but they don't want to put in the work. And it's just some things you have to put in the work for, y'all, especially if you want it to sustain, right? So if you want a business that, yeah, you make $1 million in 3 months, but you don't know how to treat that $1 million. You don't know where to invest that $1 million. You don't even know how to manage the $1 million, right? And the business goes away. Then yes, you can create anything and make $1 million. But the question that I always ask people is, how do you keep it? How do you keep your dream alive? How do you keep your business alive, right? You keep it alive by learning to be committed to what you said you're going to do, right? So I always teach my mentees all the time. There are 2 reasons why, when you're in a business, the decision you should make, there are only 2 reasons why you should ever exit a business, right? And number 1 is because you're about to give it to your family, generation, or you're going to let the government have it, right? You decide what you do, but you're about to pass it along. The second thing is you're about to sell it, right? So either way, you need to get your business to a level where you can give it to somebody else if you're ready to release it, right? I get people that contact me all the time about, hey, Alisa, do you want to buy my healthcare staffing agency? And I'm like, I'm not at that level yet, right? I'm not at that level yet, but I'm getting there, because that is how majority of the $1 billion businesses have been established, is by acquisition, right? So I understand that's the goal, but I have to get to that level, right? I have to get comfortable enough. I have to have my finances enough. I have to have my books enough to understand that type of commitment. But what I'm telling you is, as a healthcare staffing agency owner, period, you should have the level of commitment that I am starting a business and I'm going to be committed. If it burns, and I'm going to bring it back up. If it burns again, I'm going to bring it back up. If it burns a third time, I'm going to bring it back up, right? You should be committed to building your business. You should not be committed to some overnight success thing that's going to happen overnight. If you want long-term wealth, right? If you want long-term growth, you're going to have to be committed to establishing this business. So the first thing you need to do when you're starting any business is first make the commitment within your mind. And I tell people this all the time. Your mind is the thing that will confuse you and tell you, hey, you can't do it, right? If we only really truly knew how bad we talk to ourselves, how much we put ourselves down, right? You wouldn't let anybody else talk to you like that, but you talk to yourself like that. You convince yourself out of stuff all the time. And what I'm telling you is, if you commit first in your mind, your body and everything else is going to flow. If you commit first and you are serious about your craft, whatever business it is, then everything else is going to flow. God always brings everything you need to make it a lock and key situation, right? But you have to be smart enough to understand, hey, I'm starting something I don't know about, this healthcare staffing agency. Let me look at somebody else like Alisa. Let me look at Tiffany. Let me look at Burgundy Heron. Let me look at Nicole Cayer. Those are people that are killing it. Brenda Harris in healthcare staffing industry. Look at these people and say, hey, is there a way I can get help from you? right? To show me how to build a sustainable healthcare staffing agency, but also something that will work for me, my family, and I can pass it along or I can exit it, right? So I had to understand that even though we created 7 figures year after year in our business, there is a point, it's a money level. And I say this to people all the time. Every level of money you make, you need a mentor. Period. Whether you think so or not, you should have a whole education account. Myron Golden talks about this in his Trash Man and Cash Man book. He talks about this in his Boss Moves book. You need a mentor for each level. So you should have a separate account just for education, because that is how the wealthy stay wealthy. They have money that they utilize from their business, because this is a tax write-off, to educate themselves, to keep expanding their business, to keep growing their business. So what I'm saying to you is, if you are committed, right? Don't ask me how to start a business and you're not even committed to tying your shoes. Don't ask me how to start a business and you're not even committed to presenting yourself well, right? Brushing your teeth, washing your face, doing the basic stuff to make you feel great as a person, then you're not going to even do the great things that it takes, in the stress part that it takes to run a business, y'all. This business world ain't for everybody, and I understand that, because a lot of people don't want to be committed. But what I'm saying to you is, if you get it in your head and you get it into your mind, whatever business I'm going to start, I'm going to be committed today, and there is nobody in the world that can shake me from this commitment, because I deserve this happiness, okay? I deserve the luxuries of life. I deserve to take care of my community. I deserve to be the change that people need to see, okay? All right, so y'all know I could go on a whole new rant about this commitment stuff. Commit to something first. Figure out the rest later, right? You will figure it out as it goes through, but you got to commit to it, and commitment always starts within the mind. Give me 1 second, amazing. All right, so commitment. Mommy. Yes.
Look at the birthday cake.
Oh, that's a beautiful birthday cake. All right.
So blow the candles.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me do this. The second one, how to start a healthcare staffing agency. Structure. Okay, so you need structure to build a healthcare staffing agency. Alisa, what is structure? You need to go to the Secretary of State to get your license. You need to go get your EIN, right? You need to literally go to either the Labor Board or the Department of Health and Human Resources, see if they require it in the state that you want to operate in. You need to figure out what you're going to staff. Are you going to staff nurses? Are you going to staff CNAs? You need to figure out how much you're going to pay them. You need to figure out how much you're going to ask from your clients. You need to figure out the policies, the procedures, the documents, how you're going to get all this stuff to produce this business, right? And that's the great thing about God. Like, literally, God has put people in our atmosphere that can teach you this stuff, right? Including myself. Like, I will literally give you a business that's like, ready. Here you go. Let's go. Now I just need for you to commit to what you said you want to do, so we can get you some clients, right? So you need to learn how to get clients. You need to learn how to track leads. You need to learn how to do applications for medical professionals. You need to know what medical professional is needed right now, right? What is your structure? What is the process? If a medical professional calls in right now and say, hey, I need a job, what are the steps that they have to go through, right, to get the job? Who is the team that this information is going to be delegated to get the job? If you have a client right now, call and say, hey, I need you to staff my building. We need about 800 medical professionals. Who is going to handle that client? Who is going to take over that client's needs and make sure those needs get addressed? Who is going to follow up with that client to make sure after you staff the building that the client's needs has been addressed? What are you going to do to keep the client? How are you going to keep the client interested, right? So this is structure, y'all. This is also known as systems, right? You need systems. You need processes, right? One of the things that Marcus Barney talked about, because I got to give him credit because I didn't know about it until he brought it up, was trainual.com, right? So he actually has a link. If you follow Marcus Barney, he has an affiliate link to trainual.com where he gets credit for mentioning this company. And what I'm saying to you is that's one way that you can get your SOPs, right? SOPs is standard operating procedures. Always got to remember, because SOPs in healthcare means something else. So you literally get your procedures, you get what's done. Any business that you are going to create needs systems, okay? So what I want you to start thinking about today is, all right, I am starting this healthcare staffing business. The first thing I need to know is, how am I going to get people to pay me? All right, step 1, this is how I'm going to get people to pay me. Step 2, this is what's going to happen when they pay me. Step 3, this is what they will receive, right? So step one, I'm going to get people to pay me by signing a contract. Step two, I'm going to send them a medical professional so I can actually turn that contract into cash, right? Step three, I'm going to send them an invoice from QuickBooks, or I'm going to send them an invoice directly from my email so they can verify it. And step four, I'm going to get the payment from my factoring company, or I am going to pay my nurses up front and wait for my client to pay me within 15, 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, or 90 days based on the contract. Okay, so get your structure right. All right, every business should be structured right. Last but not least, how do I start a healthcare staffing agency? Y'all, consistency. All right, so you are dealing with people, right? Any business that you go into, you're dealing with people. So you have to be consistent, right? You have to show up. You got to say, if you say you're going to do it, do it. No matter how tired you are, you got to do it, right? Even if you pass out on a computer with your head at the keyboard, which I've happened, and woke back up and wait a minute, I promise I'm gonna have this done by this time, y'all, right? So it's sometimes it's a struggle. That's a word that, again, the devil try to bring into my head. If you are committed to it, if I am consistent with my healthcare staffing agency, I will be successful, right? So Nehemiah Davis always says it. Either it has to work or it has to work. I don't know no other option. Either it has to work or it has to work. I can add other services to it, but guess what? Either this business has to work or it has to work. It is no option for me. I'm not exiting this business. I have got so many calls, and I get them every day. Alisa, will you sell your healthcare staffing agency? Would you take this amount? Would you take this amount? And I'm here to tell you, for the people who keep calling me, I'm not selling my healthcare staffing agency. There is not anybody in my generation, my current generation, that has came from my mom or my dad, or came from my grandmother or my grandfather, that has passed a family business down. And what I'm saying to you is, I'm going to be the change in my family. I'm going to keep passing this down until I can't pass it down no more, even beyond my death. I'm going to be the change that my family need to see, that, hey, we can do a family business. I believe that we can do a family business. I don't care if I'm Black, and I don't care if people say Black people don't get along and they fall apart. I hate to, I not hate, but I can't stand to listen to those negativities. I believe that my family will succeed. I believe that we'll have a successful family business. I believe that we will be billionaires in this industry, period. And how we pass it down is based on how we pass it down, y'all. But I'm not selling this. I'm not selling this because I'm creating this for my kids that will look at this business one day and say, you know what? My great grandmother, with her beautiful skin and her beautiful smile, still thought about me before I was even conceived. Okay, so I want you to understand, why are you creating this healthcare staffing agency? Be consistent in what you're doing. Don't give up on your dreams and goals. Don't let people who have small minds be around you and tell you what you can't do, because they can't think the level that you can think, right? God gives each person a vision and a gift. It is up to you to harness that gift, right? It is up to you to birth that gift. If you be around people who don't understand, you cannot be mad with them, because God never gave the gift to them. He gave it to you. So stop getting frustrated with people, right? And get frustrated with yourself and make something happen, and stop all these excuses about life. All right, so I love you. How to start a healthcare staffing agency. Let's get back. Number one, you're going to commit. Number two, structure. Number three, consistency. Y'all know I be going off. Y'all, at least come on back. All right, y'all. So for those who don't know me, I am the real Alisa Applewhite. Again, they say, why do they call me CEO 3 times? Y'all, simple. Everybody's a CEO 3 times, right? You are bossing your life. You're bossing your family or your community, or you're bossing your business or your job, right? Everybody's bossing at least 3 times in their life. So you are a CEO 3 times. You don't even know it, right? But we came up with the name, me and my husband, is because we have 3 companies, right? So the first company we have is top of the line healthcare staffing, where we staff medical professionals in hospitals, doctors' offices, and nursing homes. The next one we have is TOTLHS Heart to Go Inc. This is our baby. This is the nonprofit that takes care of our medical professionals. All right, and then we have the real Alisa Applewhite Consulting, and this is the company that teaches everyday people like you how to build a healthcare staffing agency from scratch. We partner with hospitals to teach them on how to retain their staff. We teach medical professionals that want specialized skills like ICU and ER how to get those specialized skills so they can get in those specialized industries. We actually go to schools and we teach children on how to build business business and how to build credit, y'all. We have a podcast called Beyond the Scrubs Podcast, where we listen to stories like yours every day, and we have the world understand where you're coming from a patient's view or a medical professional's view. Okay. We do so much in this industry, in this particular company. I'm so glad. And the biggest surprise is coming next year. And I'm so happy. No, this is next year. It's coming. So it's coming. It's coming. This is next year. I'm so excited. All right. So it is coming. And I'm so ecstatic about this because this has been a need in our community for a very long time. And I don't mean the African-American community, y'all. I mean in the healthcare community. We have needed an understanding on what's really going on in these hospitals and nursing homes. And I'm so excited to bring this to you, right? I'm just so excited. So please stay tuned for more. All right. So follow me on all social media platforms. If y'all don't know my name, I'll have it go up past the screen. The Real Alisa Applewhite. Again, that's The Real Alisa Applewhite. Again, that's The Real Alisa Applewhite. So follow me on all social media platforms. Y'all, I want you to go subscribe to my YouTube channel now. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel now. We got Kafai Khan. Hey Kafai, how are you? I believe he commented. He said, "Hey, how are you, love? Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel because February holds a lot of stuff for you." We also got my boy Ripon BF joined. Ripon does videos. So if y'all need any type of video footage, y'all need to contact Ripon. He does really good work. So definitely. But go subscribe to my YouTube channel now, okay? Don't make no excuses. Don't miss out on it, okay? We have a challenge coming up called Make the Call to Get the Client. And this challenge is January 29th, right? It's going to be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I don't know if I want to change the time, y'all. I'm still thinking about it right now. But right now, as it stands, it's going to be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I think the next challenge for sure, I'm going to change the time because I don't want to utilize my mornings. I got to figure out this way so it don't mess with the staffing agency, okay? So make the call to get the client, y'all, where we help you build a healthcare staffing agency from scratch. Tickets start at $97. But to get to the level where we build a staffing agency from scratch, you literally have to pay for the $297 and it's a $597 ticket. All right. So you can go to therealaac.com. Again, that's therealaac.com, and you can get your tickets today. Y'all, we have a webinar coming up next Thursday. All right, next Thursday we got a webinar coming. So don't miss the free information. It's literally a webinar that shows you how to build the healthcare staffing agency from scratch. And I'm so excited as always, y'all. I love you. I am so glad that you're here today. Like you could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. And I want to say thank you for that. Thank you so much. But I promise you, I love you. But there's nobody that loves you more than God loves you. So go out and build a relationship with your creator. All right. So go out and build a relationship with your creator because that is what's going to sustain you when you're talking about building this healthcare staffing business. That is what is going to sustain you when you're talking about building any business because it's going to get tough. Don't let nobody tell you they're different. It's going to get stressful and you're going to be like, man, I don't know the answer to this. And it's okay not to know the answer to this because God has literally put around people who got answers. They might got a piece here and a piece here and a piece there, but you're going to piece it up and you're going to keep going because you are amazing, because you are great. Do you understand that? You are great in everything you do. Every doubt in your mind is a lie, but everything pushing you going forward is of God. There you go. So let's go. We're going to leave you with what video? I don't want that one. I want a new video. Oh, let's go with this one. Bye, y'all. Have a great weekend. I will see y'all on Monday. Again, tap in tomorrow, Saturdays and Sundays, 12 o'clock recording. It might be your question. Don't wait. Don't wait.
Time is not promised to anybody. So you have to be very intentful with your time. Because the simple fact of when you are in business, you are given so many tasks, you're given so many things to do that if you don't have a specified time on when you're going to do these things, when you're going to target these things, then they get lost in the sauce, right? And you should always do your intent schedule based on what has to be done now. What needs to be done right now that's going to generate revenue for my company or my business, right? How to get to the, as David Shan says, how to get to the bag now, right? So that task is always within that 1 hour block, where you break it down in 15-minute circles, or you can break it down in 30 minutes, however intent you want to be. Intent for me is 15 minutes. I want to know what I can accomplish in 15 minutes. And when we get a little bit more intent and see, I want to know what I can accomplish in 5 minutes, right? But right now, see what you can accomplish, because the thing that is going to get you to the bag first or get you increased revenue is the thing that's going to keep your business going. So you have to prioritize, right?